Hey there everybody, my name's Nathan Elson, and today we're going to be talking about whether or not this here, which is the Zhuin X60 RGB light, just happens to be the sexiest light of 2024. Now, I've talked to a whole series of photographers and videographers. I've shown a ton of them this light, and their first reaction is always the same, and it's damn, that's a good looking light. But the follow-up question is always, but is it any good? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I should also start off by saying that this is not going to be a review that gets into specs. It's not going to be anything techie. That stuff bores the hell out of me. What matters to me is whether or not this can actually work as part of my kit. So I put it through some paces, ran it through a few tests, and basically tried to figure out whether or not this is going to be something that permanently lives in my bag. So that's what this video is going to be about today. Now, I should also mention that Zhuin is sponsoring this video. Thank you, Zhuin, for your support. Things like that are always appreciated. But if you're wondering whether or not that sponsorship is going to lean into the fact of whether or not I tell you what I actually think about this light, well, they didn't pay me that much. So let's jump into the video here. I'll talk to you about this light and whether or not it actually serves to be a part of my current kit. Now, I've had 60-watt lights in the past, but they've always been AC powered. So I was always tethered to a cord. And not only that, there were only daylight balance. So there was no other options in terms of color when it came to those lights. So what I often did was I just opted for my more powerful lights just to give me more options in the power ranges rather than limiting my amount of power for the exact same thing. But what this light does is it kind of takes all of those limitations and just kind of throws them out the window. And a big part of that is this battery here. Now, the battery pack that comes with this whole light is just designed so well. It's so pretty, but I mean, it clips onto the side and then just becomes this perfect little handle. You can literally create this perfectly contained light source that you can place pretty much anywhere. And like I said, you can use any color because it's RGB. So the options that this light creates are just, there's so many. So how have I been using this light? Well, I'm glad you asked. Now, the main way that I've been using this is maybe a little bit different than what you've seen in past videos. And that's that I've been using this more in natural light settings as both a key light and a fill light, because I wanted to see what it would do if it wasn't just in a dark room. So as you can see here, I'm using the X60 as a key light when photographing Asha in this natural light studio. And this is what the images look like before using the X60. And then this is what they look like when I add the X60 in as my key, which looks awesome. Okay, now for this next setup, I am again using the X60 in more of a fill light situation where the light coming from the window wasn't quite giving me the look that I was going for, as I wanted the light hitting on Liz's face to be more prominent. So I brought in that X60 to help make her face more of the focus while still holding on to that natural light feel. Now, the fine tuning of the lighting here is where this small light really fits into my current workflow, and it is definitely an asset in my ability to create. Now, because of the size of this light, even with the battery attached, it can literally live in my bag and take up almost no room. There's nothing that I have to take out of my bag to make room for it. It's a small form factor, so I can literally take this with me all of the time and have that little extra pop of light with me should I ever need it in any given situation. Not only that, the size allows you to place this light pretty much anywhere, which makes it a great light for adding in an accent light, or if you needed to put it inside something or behind something, it's super easy to do thanks to that battery pack. Now, for a lot of you watching this, you may end up wanting to pick something up like this because of its size factor for something like a YouTube studio setup, especially if you're running low on space. You don't maybe have a lot of room and you're trying to pinch a light against a wall or up against a ceiling. The form factor of this and its sheer size just makes it so much easier to place this light in those various areas. Now, not only that, I've got this Bones mount adapter, so I can literally attach this tiny light to any large modifier. So I'm going to put all of this together. I'm going to attach it to the modifier that I have running here. I'm going to show you what this light looks like if I was to use this as the key light for this setup. There we go. Drop the power a bit. Yeah. There we go. This is me running the X60 as the key light in this setup. Now I'm running it at about 65%, which, you know, I'm running my 300 watt light that I normally use at about 12%. So obviously I'm running this one at more juice, but I mean, it's is doing exactly what I want it to do. And like I was saying, if you do have a limited amount of space and you need to be able to move that light just a little bit closer to the wall or a little bit closer to your ceiling, something like this with that smaller form factor really does a great job in allowing you to create these types of scenarios even in a very limited amount of space. And so there you go. And now to answer the question of whether or not this actually makes it into my kit. And I can honestly say, because of the size factor and the fact that I don't actually have to lose anything in my kit in order to add this in, this is 100% going to be in my bag. Just the size, the portability of it, the fact that it's full RGB, that I can use it as a key light, I can use it as an accent light, I can stick it behind something if I need to. It's just, there's so much usability to it that to not have it in my bag when I've already got it in my hand just seems counterproductive. It's a tool, and it's a tool that I think I could make really good use of. So if you're interested in checking one out for yourself, I will link it down in the description below. Until July 14th, 2024, if you use discount code MOLUS5, you get a little bit of extra money off of your purchase, put a little bit of extra money back in your wallet. Always a good thing. But with that, as always, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.